This is a recording for IPP Ielts speaking book. All the recordings are made by IPP teachers and copyrighted.
This is Bảo from IPP Ielts. I'm going to talk about Test 2 Part 1. First, let's talk about where you live. Do you live in a town or a country? I currently live in one of the biggest cities in Vietnam, Ho Chi Minh City. It's in the south of the country and is a really bustling city. I've lived in it my whole life and I can't imagine living in the countryside. I think the silence would drive me crazy. Is it a convenient place to live? Oh, definitely. I think Ho Chi Minh City is the most convenient place to live throughout Vietnam. It has everything anyone could ever possibly need, and there's always something interesting happening in the city. Unfortunately, it can get rather polluted and the traffic is chaotic nearly 24/7. But I wouldn't choose to live anywhere else. What is interesting about the area where you live? At the moment, I'm living in District 3, which is usually considered to be the center of Ho Chi Minh City. Thanks to this convenient location, everything I need is right on my doorstep. There are cinemas, shopping malls, good restaurants and cafes, all within walking distance. And there's also a park down the road from my house where I can exercise or relax in the evening. Where would you like to live in the future? To be honest, I would love to continue to stay in Ho Chi Minh City in the future. Because I've been raised here for the past 22 years of my life, I feel at home in all the hustle and bustle of city life, and I'm used to the fast pace of living here, and also the convenience that it brings. I think if I were to live somewhere else in the future, it would still have to be in a big city. Let's move on to sports. Which is the most popular sport in your country? I think football is the most popular sport in most countries around the world, and Vietnam is no exception. It's not for nothing that it's known as the king of all sports after all. The majority of Vietnamese men, like my dad included, love to watch football in their free time, and some of them even practice playing football on the fields, which is really beneficial to their health. Besides men, some women also show their strong interest in sport, though it's definitely a male-dominated pastime. What are the advantages of doing sports regularly? Doing sports regularly brings lots of benefits. A person who plays sports will definitely have better health and a high level of endurance compared to an unathletic person. Moreover, it has been scientifically proven that playing sports will also strengthen brain power and stimulate positive emotions. Playing sports can also be a good way of meeting people and learning how to work as a team. Which new sports would you like to try? Honestly speaking, I'm not a very sporty person. I have other methods to improve my health, such as dancing or running. However, I had some opportunities to watch some basketball matches with my group of friends, and I found it to be quite exciting. Therefore, I would love to try and play basketball one day. Great, let's talk about your time spent with friends. What do you particularly enjoy doing with your friends? There are a number of activities that I enjoy doing with my close friends, including going out to eat, to drink, and to chat in our favorite cafes. But the activity that I enjoy most is traveling with my friends. There's a huge difference between traveling with friends and with family. It's not that I don't enjoy traveling with my parents, but traveling with my friends brings a whole new experience because they tend to share the same interests with me, and it's extremely easy to pick a place to go that we all love. Have the thing that you do with your friends changed over the years? It's very heartbreaking to say that when my friends and I grew up and went to university, we each got our own timetables and we are now busy with our personal lives. Even though many of us still live in the same city, it's very rare for everyone to be free at the same time, so we don't have as many opportunities to hang out. So even though we still like to do the same activities together, like traveling or just going out for coffee, the time we have to do it is very limited. What makes a good friend? Everyone has their own definition of a good friend, but for me, a good friend is someone who is capable of listening without judging. I always look for a friend that is supportive and can be my source of positivity every day. A person who judges a lot and tends to look at things in a negative way is someone I wouldn't feel comfortable being around. That is the end of part 1.
This is a recording for IPP Ielts Speaking Book. All the recordings are made by IPP teachers and copyrighted.
This is Bao from IPP Ielts. I am going to talk about Test 2, Part 2. The topic of this part is to describe an academic success that you achieved. You should say what you did to achieve this success, how difficult it was to do it, how you felt when you were successful, and explain how the success has helped you in your life. Undoubtedly, the academic success I am most proud of is that I managed to graduate from Ho Chi Minh University of Pedagogy with a distinction. I graduated in July or August of 2015, and it was just such a wonderful moment of achievement. I had really put my head down over the course of my studies, and it was great to feel that my hard work had paid off. During my 4 years in university, I needed to study attentively in all classes, and I often had 5 or 6 lectures a day. In addition to that, I devoted a great deal of time to reading academic textbooks and reference materials related to my major. I spent countless hours in the library with my head stuck in a book, taking notes and trying to learn as much as I could. And all these things and the hard work I put in helped me achieve this success. Been happier to hear my name announced on the graduation day, mixed together with the cheering voices of my families and friends. I couldn't keep the smile off my face as I walked up to get my certificate. The degree that I received on that day is the golden key that has helped me unlock career opportunities. Even though it was tough going at times, it was definitely worth it. That is the end of part 2.
This is a recording for IPP Ielts Speaking Book. All the recordings are made by IPP teachers and copyrighted.
This is Bao from IPP Ielts. I'm going to talk about Test 2, Part 3. Let's continue with the topic academic study. How important is it for people to have academic goals? In my opinion, it's crucial for people, especially the younger generation, to have certain academic goals in their life. For some students, that may be earning a specific grade point average. For others, it may be preparing for a specific career or gaining admission to a particular university. All of those goals are something to aspire to and focus on, and they will make us work even harder to pursue our dreams. Does secondary school prepare students adequately for life? To be honest, I think schools only provide fundamental academic knowledge for students, and it may not be adequate for life. Most of the lessons students learn in school are theoretical, and they seldomly have the opportunity to put themselves into practical usage. It's not until university that they are assigned to do internships at different workplaces that they get the chance to experience real-life situations. So school can help prepare students for university, but not so much for life. I think having more practical and less theoretical classes in school would be a good thing. How will technology change academic study in the future? Technology has been changing the way we study for years now, and needless to say, the change will be even more visible and prominent in the future. I think we'll see computers becoming ubiquitous in classrooms, and there will be lots more interactive ways of teaching using videos and animations and so on. Having students conduct their own research in class or create their own presentations could also happen. In terms of universities, in my imagination, the students of the future generations will no longer need to come to class and study in a traditional way. All of the lectures will be available online for students to access during their preferred timetable. Useful vocabulary used in this test. 1. Bustling. 2. Chaotic. 3. Right on my doorstep. 4. The hustle and bustle. 5. Male-dominated. 6. A high level of endurance. 7. Put my head down over something. 8. Pay off. 9. Devote. 10. With my head stuck in a book. 11. Couldn't keep the smile off my face. 12. Tough going. 13. Aspire to. 14. Adequate. 15. Put into practical usage. 16. 17. Ubiquitous. That is the end of test 2.